Hi, this is Pam, Flower Patch Farmhouse, and today we're in the greenhouse and we are going to plant up some of my containers that I use for my winter sowing. They're just milk jugs, water jugs, what have you, that have been cut open and left with a hinge. I'll show you what they look like in just a second, and then I'm going to put in some of my seed starting mix. Mine is my own mix. You can use potting soil or a regular seed starting mix. It doesn't matter. I did a test, an experiment last winter where I tried both in my containers, both a seed starting mix, or actually 3 different ones, and just a potting soil. They all worked great. There's no reason to pay more for a seed starting mix if you don't want to. So that being said, I'm going to make my own DIY potting soil mix, and then I'm going to fill my containers, and then I'm going to plant up some seeds. So let's get going. So here's my container. You can see it was a milk jug, and with a utility knife I just cut around. I start at the handle. I have a whole tutorial on this on my blog and another video, but I just start at the handle. I leave like 1 inch here to act as a hinge, and I poke holes in the bottom and twist the knife a little bit, and it makes openings for drainage. And then I fill it with my potting soil mix. I have a blog post and a video on my DIY potting soil if you want to go watch that. I tell you what I use, etc. I have a couple of recipes on there. Now I'm just going to fill this up as full as I can. Now I have, it's my compost. I have a little bit of sharp sand or horticultural sand and some perlite, and I don't think I have any rice hulls. I'm going to skip the rice hulls in this batch pretty much because the rice sprouts. Not that that's a big deal because I recognize it. And I just pull out the rice sprouts. But if you don't want to bother with that, then just use the perlite and some sand, and it keeps it pretty loose. I got it filled up here. This one I'm going to have, it's pretty full. So you've got, 3 or more inches of soil in there. And I am going to put in this one some Sweet Williams. Sweet Williams are a lovely perennial that are hardy to zone. Let me see if it tells me. I don't know, but I get pretty cold here and they're hardy here. And will overwinter. They'll reseed. You'll get plenty more next year. I don't want to sow them too thickly because I will divide them out as they get bigger. So I'm just going to sprinkle a batch in here. I think that's plenty. And then I will sprinkle just a little bit of soil on top. Some things need just a touch of soil on top. And because a lot of things need light to germinate. So there's just a little bit of soil. And then I'll just use the bottom of the pot to press. You want good contact between, I got a little something in there, the seeds and the soil. And so I don't displace the seeds. I will soak this in a container, like one of these attach to hanging plants. And it's just a little bottom. I will put warm water, works best, not too warm, tepid, what have you, and it will absorb up. Now I'll close this up. I will write on it with my Sharpie what exactly this is, and this is Sweet Williams, and I will put it on the top. Some put a little marker inside, but so far I've done okay with just marking the outside on the top and on the side, Sweet Williams. And the date. I will put, this is 1/11/21. And then what I do is I get some duct tape. All right, here's my duct tape. And how I do this, let me move this back, is I stick it to the edge of my table and I pull out a length. This isn't the really good one I like. This one's kind of, I don't know, tough to work with. And I scoot out my duct tape, my utility knife a little bit, and I cut off a piece. And I will start from the edge, and I will just tape around. Some people like using clear packing tape, saying that they think the plants get more light, but that's really not necessary. They get plenty of light. This little strip of duct tape is not going to block enough to make a difference. Plus, I've had it stick better than the clear packing tape. But if you want to use that, go right ahead. There's no exact science to this. I'm not even going to go all the way around, because as long as it just keeps it attached there, then that works. So it's like a mini greenhouse, and then I will put this out in the garden, set it out there on the dirt, and let it go until I will check it again in spring. We haven't been getting a lot of rain, but they don't need a lot of moisture right now. Being in this container, condensation, etc., is plenty after you do the initial soak. So don't worry about watering them unless you have them up against a building. If you have them up against a building, you will need to water more, because the building will block some of the rain getting in there. Okay, that is my winter sowing. I'm going to do Sweet Williams. I have several other containers over here ready to go. I'm going to do the same thing. This one's going to have Agastache in it. This one over here is going to have Bachelor Buttons. And this one, I thought I would try Pacific Giant Mix Delphiniums in it. I have the English or the Dowdeswell Delphiniums that I get the seeds from New Zealand, which I absolutely love. But this packet was $4 for $1, so 25 cents. So I thought, why not? Give it a try. Alrighty then, I will continue on, and then I will put them out in the garden, and I'll show you where I put them. So now I have all of these, or at least I have 5 of these seeded up. This one I'm actually going to try to germinate a geranium in winter sowing. I haven't tried this before, but I had a bunch of these Rosy Glow geranium seeds from one of my plants, and I thought, why not give it a try? Now I got some warmish water here. I'm going to let them absorb it up, and then I will take them out to the garden. So what I have planted up is Agastache. It's a beautiful purple, I think it's about 3 foot tall plant. Bees love it, and they smell wonderful. It's a perennial here, and I can grow it. It'll grow, it'll come back every year for me. This one is Amazing Gray Poppies. I did seed some out in my garden in the fall, and I'm hoping that will come up, but I'm also going to do double duty and plant some in my winter sowing containers. This is the Pacific Delphiniums I said I was going to do. And, excuse me, this one. Oh, this is the Sweet Williams. So those are the 5 I got done today. Like I said, I will put them out in the garden, and they will be fine after they've soaked. And I will do some more later in the week as I go through my seeds and see what I want to get started out there. And then I'm going to start on some 6-packs or other things that I'm going to take inside under the lights. So here are my containers out in the garden, just sitting here. We don't get strong winds in the winter usually, so they'll be fine out here in the open. So there we have it. We will check on these in a few months, and we'll see how they're doing. Or maybe more. What is this? It's January, February, March, April. Yeah, a few months. And I'll probably have more out here by then as I get more done, more seeded. So there we have winter sowing, and I'm in zone 8A. So I hope you'll join me next time when I have another garden project to share with you. I am going to divide an aloe vera plant, and it will be my first time, so we'll see how that goes. But I watched some videos and tutorials. It looks fairly simple, but this one definitely needs dividing and needs to be done, so I don't think it'll hurt it. I will see you in the next video.